And we're live.
Yay.
Yay.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
After our long break, I missed you guys.
Was it a long
Aw.
break? It was like 1 week, right?
It was 1 week.
Well, we took an episode
Since you
off
smiled
for
at me,
like 2
cocked
weeks.
your head to the side and said you're angry. 5 days to the big surprise.
I have no idea what.
That's all I remember.
song you're
It's
referencing?
Bare Naked Ladies, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your Canadian heritage, Sean. My God.
Yeah,
Are they Canadian?
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. The start and finish of my knowledge of the Bare Naked Ladies is
Big Bang
there's
Theory
that-
is the
Big-
song.
Oh no, I guess I knew that too. I was gonna say that one song that's in the Digimon movie.
It's been 1 week.
Is it that one?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I
Probably.
just knew there was one song in there.
It was arguably that song that made them, like, their first hit, if maybe their biggest hit.
Yeah, it is in fact 1 week, the song I was just singing.
I mean, I couldn't tell you a single other thing about that movie, plot or anything, except all I remember is there's a Bare Naked Ladies song in it.
That's all you need to know. That's
They
really
also have
it.
that chicken song.
Same song, pretty sure.
Chicken to China, the Chinese chickens. That
Yeah,
what you're thinking of?
yeah, that one. I couldn't.
That
remember
is
what the word
again
was.
1
Same
week.
song. That's the same
1
song.
week again?
Yep.
Okay, so
So
they have one song, I guess.
unless it's the Big Bang Theory, anything you probably are thinking about Bare Naked Ladies, it's 1 week.
That song was in How I Met Your Mother. At least that part of it.
Chicken to China, Chinese chicken, your brain shuts down and your heart starts ticking or something like that. I don't know. It's been a
I'll
while.
take your word for it. You're the expert here,
Apparently,
apparently.
you're apparently the expert at 1 week because you've
Yeah,
think
no
every
kidding.
song is that one.
Yeah, I guess so. So what's new with you guys? What's been happening in the last 2 weeks?
We bought a house.
Oh, geez.
Nice.
We're doing the paperwork next week, but it's pretty much official, so we are moving.
What's it like?
It's a house. It's got house features. It does house things like sit there and let us live in it.
Cool.
It's great.
Is it bigger? Is it
Oh yes,
smaller?
it's bigger. It's got a 2-car garage. It's got a backyard. Like it's not a townhouse like we have now. It's an actual house.
Okay.
So it'll be a nice change. It's gonna take a little bit of work. We got to do some renovations on it, or by
Well,
which
like
I
what?
mean we're gonna pay someone to do it.
Right. What do you have to do?
We're gonna replace the flooring because it's like old tiling. The previous people who were living there were renters and they smoked in the place, so we gotta
Oh no.
Oh man.
take out the drywall that's in the garage because apparently they just smoked in the garage and it just reeks.
Okay, that's better than if they smoked in the house.
Apparently
Yeah.
they did too, but like they did an ozone treatment on that already, so that's already gone.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, thankfully. They also had a dog that shit everywhere outside and a tiny bit inside, so we got to clean all that up. Like they wrecked the backyard basically, so we got to fix that. And there's some weathering damage on the roof that we got to fix.
But they rented. Like, why didn't their damage deposit do anything? Why is this place?
They
like that?
probably didn't get their damage deposit back, if I had to guess.
Well, did the landlord use the damage deposit to fix the damage?
That's probably what the ozone
Oh,
painting
yeah.
treatment was for, because they also put in new carpet. So like they did what they could to get rid of the smell out of the house, but the garage is just a disaster zone.
All right. Well, maybe there's a reason why the landlord was renting it to people and then decided I just need to get rid of this and sold.
Apparently, it was owned by some company in Toronto.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Obviously, don't go into details, but like, are you like way out there, or are you kind of close to the city?
Almost the same.
Okay. All right.
We're in a better spot for some things and a worse spot for other. I can tell you off cast, but
Sure. Yeah. Right on. Well, congrats.
thank you. Just the shitty thing is we get possession next week and we have to be out of here by the 10th of May, but I leave the 30th of April for our charity marathon and another event, and then get back right before we have to move out of here. So Reese has to do a lot of the packing and moving without me. So
Start packing now.
I'm gonna owe her a big one. Yeah, no, that's the thing. You're gonna see things disappearing by next week's cast. Like most of the office will be gone or packed up.
Yeah.
Cool. Life events. All right, Paul, you gotta say something as big as that. What have you been doing?
Seeking out therapy.
Okay, that's a big deal.
That is pretty big. Just in a different direction.
So the reason I wasn't here last week is because I went to a specialist for something I need to get done up in Edmonton, and the motherfucker canceled on me 20 minutes before my appointment was supposed to start. So I just went to my parents' house after that and yelled and screamed about it the whole way there, and then just chilled out with them for a bit and came home the next day. So
it's kind of a therapy session.
Just not the one he paid for and drove for.
Yeah, I was thinking about how to say, like, how he could pay me my cancellation fee for canceling within 24 hours. But I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just seems like a way to just not ever go to that specialist.
No, like, I already told his receptionist, like, just take me off your list. I'm never fucking coming back here. Like, obviously. Right. If that wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so.
Did they know you were coming from Calgary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy, man.
It was real awesome. We got to eat at IKEA, though. I really like IKEA lunches. Mm-hmm. Good food for cheap. That's cool, I guess.
I'm glad to hear you enjoyed this lunch, but, like, IKEA's in Calgary as well. Like, that's...
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh, well, looking on the bright side, that's good.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. One day at a time. One day at a time.
I can't remember. I know I talked about it on the show the last time I was in Edmonton, which was like 2 years ago. There was a place on White Street or White Ave that I think it's just called Meat or something like that. And they just serve tons of different kinds of meat and mustards. I love
sounds
that place.
Right. Cool. Yep. Yeah, that sounds neat.
I recommend it next time you're in Edmonton.
Yeah, I don't like going to the White Ave area just because traffic and people and stuff like that. It's kind of a mess.
It's definitely like the hip kind of street to hang out on. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
But yeah, no, that sounds like up my alley. I like meats and mustards, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a movie recommendation because I went to the movies last week.
Okay.
I went and saw Missing Link.
I don't even know what this is.
This is the new Leica film.
Okay.
Leica being the company that made Coraline and Kubo and the Two Strings and Box Trolls, and
right.
So they do stop motion animation. This one is about like the Bigfoot Sasquatch played by Zach Galifianakis, and an adventurer played by I'm blanking on his name. Wolverine.
Oh my god! Now I'm
Hugh Jackman. Yeah. And it is super great. It looks absolutely awesome. Everything, it almost looks kind of like a quilt, not in the way that like Kirby's Epic Yarn and like Yoshi's Crafted World looks like, yarn and crafts, but just kind of like the bright colors and everything looks soft, and it is very funny. Quite recommended if you're a animation movie fan. Go check out The Missing Link. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah, I looked it up here. I have seen this poster around, so yeah.
Okay.
It looks cute.
It's a good time.
So it was actually a good movie because, like, looking at the trailer and stuff, I was like, eh.
I mean, I thought the trailer looked good myself. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. So
okay.
Take that as you can. I was gonna also try and see Hellboy until like the review score hit.
Yeah, man.
That was a surprise. When it first revealed the score, 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was shocked it was that low.
It seems like critics really don't like it. It seems like a certain amount of the audience does, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, but like not enough that where like even a lot of the audience is like, what is this garbage? So I was put off a little bit seeing all of that too myself. Maybe as like a rental of some sort.
Sure. I'm just surprised. Like, I thought based on the trailers, this looks like competent. This looks like
fine.
It will at least be like a fine movie, but 9%?
Yeah, that
is extremely low.
It's crazy, yeah.
and I should have seen this coming because obviously some people at GameSpot had seen it like the week before, and I was trying to avoid those conversations because I didn't want it spoiled. But I just saw the phrase like it's Suicide Squad levels of bad.
Oh no.
And that didn't fully register with me until I saw that review score. But yeah, so no Hellboy for me. I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, at least in theaters.
Yeah, exactly. However, this weekend, who's excited for Avengers, right? This guy is.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide. We're trying to decide what day we're going. I think we might be going the Thursday night because
it's the very first one. That's what we're doing.
It's the only time that like both of us have time to be able to go. So,
do you have your tickets already?
No, but there's plenty of seats at all of the theaters here. They're showing a showing every like half an hour, basically everywhere.
Right on. Cool. Yeah, no, we're doing Thursday night. I think I might be going Friday as well with work.
Okay.
So that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
A little, for 3 hours long too, hey?
3 hours.
Yeah. I'm excited and nervous about that.
Sure, yeah. And the Russo brothers even came out and said like there's no good time to take a bathroom break.
I'm sure there is.
Which yeah, part of me is like, of course you'd say that. This is your movie. You're not going to be like, oh, actually about like an hour and a half into it, it gets really boring. So that's your like, you're not going to say that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, there, like a lot has to kind of happen in this movie.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm nervous because like Infinity War was already such a feat of like they pulled off such a momentous thing, and now they're just like, we're gonna double down. Let's just do it again, back to back. Like, I'm gonna be so impressed if they stick the landing. So
yeah, I'm excited to see where they take it, because they didn't go anywhere like where the comics books really went with Infinity War, so they're just gonna do their own thing, obviously. So I'm excited to see how they kind of mix it up. Oh, it's better because the way the comic books do it is like ridiculous.
Okay.
So
well, it is a comic. So
yeah, no, exactly. I'm excited.
All right, well, let's do the podcast proper. This is the Top Down Perspective for April 18th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
And why don't we see what Paul's been playing first?
I've been playing the ever-living hell out of Risk of Rain 2. I'm one challenge away, and I hate it. I guess I'm just at the point where I just need to finish it off now, though, because I have one thing to unlock. And it's specifically on the hardest difficulty, fight an elite boss and, like, win or whatever. And it doesn't sound like it's too bad, but, like, everything just hurts so fucking much on that difficulty. It's kind of rough.
Are you at all nervous that they're going to release an update that wipes everything?
No, I couldn't care less. I'll just do it again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I've been playing a whole bunch of that. They released a patch that actually fixed that game, so fire doesn't stack infinitely anymore at the higher levels, to the point where you get one shot by one tick, because it does over 1 million damage. So that's good. So you can actually, like, completely loop a whole bunch of times now without, like, any problem.
Okay, so I have a question about that. So I also started playing Risk of Rain 2.
Okay.
And I played through, like, I did 4 stages, and then it brings you back to, like, the first stage again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there any kind of end, or does it just keep going in a circle until you die?
It keeps going in a circle until the game doesn't know how to spawn creatures at your skill level, and then they just don't anymore.
Okay. Cool. So,
I mean, it is early access, to be fair.
Sure, yeah. I wasn't sure if there was any kind of just, like...
There's not.
Stop point to it or anything. So, yeah, I did the loop, and I think I did one more level, and then... So I would have been on my 6th stage.
Sure.
I could not find the teleporter. I think... Did they fix that yet? Is it easier to find the teleporter?
Yeah, they increased the radius of, like, the little particle physics and the red, like, glow that the teleporters have, so in most levels, it's much easier. Some of them, like, I don't know if you got, like, the swamp one, where there's like some water and like, yeah, that one's still hard in some spots because it can kind of spawn in water. So
cool. That's the one I was stuck on, and eventually got to the point where it was like a 45-minute run.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting killed, like damaged fast enough where I was going to die. At least not until the difficulty went up significantly.
Yeah.
I just had so much healing, and I was like, it's getting close. Like I need to go to bed, so I
Yeah.
just like stood still and died.
Yeah, I really wish they added a way that you could just kind of save your state and like come back to it, especially because one of their challenges is to beat 20 levels in a row. So it's like it can be time consuming.
That's weird. The first game didn't loop in any way, right?
Yeah. You got to a point where before the last level, there was a big teleporter, and the teleporter gave you two options: either continue to the final level or go back to the first level to loop if you wanted to.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay, cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We must have done the final stage every time then when we were playing.
Yeah, because I mean, we had lives to get to. Yeah, we couldn't just sit there all night. But yeah.
Well, I'm starting to wondering if that particle stuff will even show up in my game because I've turned everything to the very minimum.
How does it run for you?
If I turn everything to the real minimum, it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
So
that's cool. Are you enjoying it?
I like it. I haven't played much more. I'm kind of just waiting for, I guess, them to just add more to it. I have a thing with early access games where I don't want to play too much of it because then when the full game's out, I won't play it really.
Sure.
So I just kind of wanted to dip my toes in because I owed it to Risk of Rain.
Yep.
And I do like it. It is good. The music is still real good.
Yeah.
I like that because it's polygonal now. Every time you do get an upgrade, it shows up on your character.
Yeah.
And he or she just looks like an absolute mess of things just sticking out of them.
Just like an extra arm holding a dagger, or your foot actually turns into the goat hoof, and like
a syringe, or like 3 syringes or whatever. Like, I like that they've modeled all those onto that, so that's cool.
It's really cool. Agreed.
I need to go back and play the first one to see what I prefer. And I'm probably gonna say I prefer the first one just because I don't have to worry about stuff behind me and like aiming really.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's been a while since I played the first game, and I should probably just get it on Switch.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah, it plays totally good on Switch. So.
But anyways, we should try and get some multiplayer in at some point. I do like Risk Rain 2. I'm glad they did that, and it is definitely a weird thing. I can't think of any other sequels where they're just like it's polygonal now. The exact same game though. Like it is such a weird sequel.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying that it's like nice and disappointing at the same time because it's like not a new game, but it is. It's just like the same type of game, but like the exact same, just in a different viewpoint, and it's weird, but it works somehow.
Yeah, it's super weird. It is super weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been mostly playing it. I mean, the reason I've been playing it a lot is because it's the perfect podcast game to just put something on in the background and just like play until the podcast runs out or until like you die or whatever, and then do something else. That's pretty much how I've been playing it. But a bunch of buddies of mine are like consistently playing it as well, so I hop in with them and we just chat and play. So that's why I've been kind of doing so much of it. I'm at the point where I'm getting pretty sick of going for like the challenge things though, like specifically the challenge I'm stuck on. So I'm probably just gonna play it now when other people want to play, and just kind of count it as a loss for now, because if I do get that and then they do reset it, I'm gonna be pretty bummed about that specific one. So I'll just continue playing it with people to have fun. The other game I've been playing, I mean, I've been playing some of the things you've been playing, so I'll just chat with you about those when those come up. The big one though is World War Z came out with a game, a half price game. It's like $30 or $35 American on the Epic Store. And I figured I would just try it out because
man, Epic Store, not buying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Steam or nothing.
I figured worst case scenario, if I hate, do I know that guy? That one guy?
that one guy.
That one guy. Oh, I know him well. I figured worst case scenario, I hate it, and then I get to see what their refund policy is like and get in some emails with people. And
Do they
then
have
I could.
one yet?
I don't know, but I figured at worst case scenario, I could find out, and then we'd have that to talk about because I'd have first-hand experience. I ended up really loving it, though. It's really good, which is surprising. So they took the two things that I thought were good about World War Z, the movie.
Brad Pitt.
No. Brad Pitt is unfortunately not in there.
Not even like maybe there's like, I was gonna say maybe his name tag is somewhere. There's gotta be something, right?
Like a nod to it? Maybe. I don't remember.
That character. It's probably that character, right?
I don't remember what his name is in that movie. But
yeah, no.
World War Z, it's the idea that like each episode in the game takes place in a different part of the world, so it gives them the ability to kind of change up the environments you're in and kind of like make things a little fresh that way, which I think is really cool. And then of course the movie was known for the like wall of zombies that would just rush in and start climbing each other like a bunch of monkeys. It does that super well. It's so cool and it's so fun every single time.
Did you play There Are Billions or Billions, whatever it was?
I have not played There Are Billions. I've heard I would like it, so.
Oh yeah, I'm curious how those would kind of compare, because There Are Billions is like, that's the whole premise, right? Is there's going to be a lot of zombies at the end here.
Yeah. So this is more like third person Left 4 Dead. This is like Left 4 Dead 3 basically. So you have you're fighting your way through objectives, like through a bunch of zombies and objectives, but then there are points where you have to hold your ground or like wait for another group to do something or whatever, and you're just attacked by a literal like flood of zombies that look like liquid coming at you, and then they just start climbing the walls, and it's like terrifying and cool, and it's just super, super gratifying and fun to like throw a grenade in there and see the physics of them like blowing up and like falling down off of the side of the building, and they like fall from everywhere. So if you're in a level that has like a lot of verticality to it, they'll just like come at you from above and start raining down on you and like running after you, and it's just absolutely madness. So the way that they get this to work so that your computer doesn't blow up is that they do have to cut a few corners here and there. Like when you kill a zombie, its body basically disappears within 2 seconds to make room for like more zombies to be processed and come in. So there's not like a whole yeah, exactly. So there's not a whole bunch of like really like cool like body effects where there's just like dead bodies everywhere and you get to see like what you've done. They kind of all disappear right away to ensure that like you can process the amount of crap that they throw at you. Some of the explosives and like guns and stuff are a little toned down too. Like the explosions aren't as big and fiery as maybe like a Call of Duty or something. They're kind of more contained and like, yeah. So it tones down a lot of that basic stuff, but it doesn't really matter because it's just super fun seeing zombies fly around when you throw a bomb in there or like any of that cool stuff.
All right, I got a few questions.
Yeah.
First off, what's the name of that actual Left 4 Dead spiritual successor that's coming out?
Is it GTFO.
No, from Turtle Rock.
Oh, from Turtle Rock. I don't remember.
Left to Die, or did I just make that up?
That sounds like that honestly sounds like something that they would put out. So let me just see if I can find something.
Turtle Rock's working on like basically Left 4 Dead, aren't they? I thought they announced that last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood, okay.
Which is somehow worse than the one you came up with.
Left 4 Dead. No, Left 4 Dead is definitely worse because it's just Left 4 Dead again, just switched basically. Like it's very okay. Anyway, my second question: this is like canonical with like the movie and stuff, right? Like they have the exact same logo and everything.
I'm not sure.
Property.
Probably, I would assume so. It kind of like, so there's 4 episodes currently. I don't know if they're going to add more, and each episode has 3 chapters to it, and each one takes place in like a different part of the world as they're kind of like trying to hold out and like fight back to take their cities back. You have New York, obviously, because New York's always in these. You have Jerusalem, which I thought was a real cool setting to use. I think that's in the movie too, if I remember correctly.
Okay, I was just thinking. I thought that was the movie.
You have Moscow, which is their excuse for a snowy city, basically. Sure. And you have Tokyo, because, of course, there's so many people in Tokyo. That makes total sense.
Good ones to pick.
Yeah, and I think it works really well because they actually model the environments in a way that you can tell you're in a different spot. Like, it's not just, like, generic city. It feels like New York when you're in the New York stuff and you're in the, like, subway lines and shit like that. And in Tokyo, you have, like, the little houses and the, like, little side streets and stuff, and they all look completely different and are kind of fresh, which was surprising to me. Like, the thing is that this game at full price would be kind of a letdown because there's not a whole lot of substance there. It seems like they have good groundwork that they could add more onto, especially because since it's, like, kind of modular where every chapter is a different thing, they could just, like, release a DLC that's like, we're gonna add 3 new chapters and 3 new cities or whatever, and it would totally work out. But for, like, half price, for, like, $30, it's, like, way better than I was expecting. There's 6 different classes that you could be for the different characters that you play. Each character actually has a backstory and, like, stuff about them if you care about that stuff. It's not, like, really deep, but, like, you do play, like, named survivors. They have a backstory you can unlock and learn more about who they are as people. But then you also have, like, a gunslinger class that you'll level up and, like, you do better with guns. You have a demolitions type class. You have a class that does better, I think, with like a support. Like, your team can carry more ammo and, like, you can open up stuff that is usually locked away using breach charges for, like, more defensive items and shit like that. And yeah, no, it's really cool. There's a lot of stuff in there to dig into, and it's just basically, long story short, if you wanted another Left 4 Dead type game and you have some people that would be willing to play it with you, it's a pretty cool pickup. I have heard that the console version does struggle a little bit at 30 frames a second. And if you have, like, the PS4 Pro or whatever, there isn't a, like, option to buff that up. There is the resolution option to make it look better. So, but you can't, like, make the frame rate better.
Performance.
Yeah, so it just sounds like it's locked across consoles at 30.
All right, my other question was, first off, are you interested in Days Gone?
Not at all, no.
Okay, because in that one, I understand you can't fight the swarm of zombies. There's just too many. You have to run.
Mm-hmm.
Can you fight the swarm in this one, or do you need to run?
So you're in the beginning, it seemed fine to fight them. I've gotten to the point in the difficulty levels where if you don't have good teamwork and you fuck up, they will overrun you real hard. You can't run in some spots, though. It is, like, very Left 4 Dead. If something's going off, you have to hold the ground while the swarm's attacking.
Okay, because it sounds like Days Gone. It's like, no, you have to get out of there. There is no way you're going to survive some of this stuff.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. I'm gonna have to see what people say about that, because that thing just looked so boring. Until they showed, like, a story trailer. It's like, oh, this might be okay as long as it plays well. I need to see what more people say.
The story seems to be what's turning me off of that game, because it's like Sons of Anarchy biker dude.
Yeah.
Having his wedding, backwards hat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That game seems like just a giant question mark. I'm curious.
I'm curious to see what people say about it, for sure. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
All right, John, go for it.
Yo, been playing Earth Defense Force Iron Rain, which is the new EDF game. It's good. Definitely, like I said before,
bad things about this one.
Really? What bad things?
Honestly, I just heard what they were talking about in the Bombcast, and they were saying it was like a step down from, like, the, like, proper EDF games. I'm blanking because obviously I wasn't paying too much of attention because I don't really play these games.
I can see some ways that they could be saying that, but I feel like it's a step up.
Okay.
I think I like it better than the core games. Other than that, I picked up some random Switch games and decided to play them. So I picked up Mechstermination Force. This is done by the devs of Gunman Clive, which was like a little simple Contra-like game. This is the one where you fight giant robots, and they're like it's all bosses, kind of like I guess like Contra Hardcore, just like a couple different Contra games.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh, really? Okay.
Controls like shit. It is terrible, slippery controls in a Contra-like.
Oh, I was gonna say,
good.
'cause the trailer made it seem kind of cool, like the bosses are kind of
which is why I bought it, and then I played it, and then I regretted it.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, that
I was
sucks.
excited for it because I loved Gunman Clive, and I like the idea of them just doing like a boss rush kind of game, and it just feels really bad to control and not worth it.
Fuck.
All right.
Yeah, really, really upset about that one, honestly.
Yeah, this looks really good. Damn it. All right.
Now, I don't know if maybe I got a pre-patch version or something, but like,
I mean, if it's out, like it's out.
Yeah, let me see how it's doing on Metacritic now.
Yeah, that's a good call.
78, so maybe I'm the one who's in the wrong here, but like I just was not having fun playing it.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly positive reviews. Weird. Okay. I'm not the only one complaining about controls, though, at least. I don't know. Your mom's been very on that, but I did not have a good time with it, and I don't really want to go back and keep playing it, which sucks because I like Gunman Clive, and I like the idea of just like another boss rush Contra kind of game.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Then I tried out Strikey Sisters, which was... how do I say this? I played a game about like this a while ago called Fire Striker. It's basically a breakout style game where you are like you're attacking your attack is the ball, like you slash the ball to knock it around the map. You can fight enemies who come at you, and you have to like collect icon like coins that are falling and just destroy all the blocks to move on to the next stage. There's bosses and etc.
Cool. Yeah, I played a game like this a long time ago called Wizorb that I still played
it's like
to this day.
It's like Wizorb, but I've heard Wizorb might be better. But this is 2-player co-op, so there might be a toss-up on that one.
Ooh, okay.
And so yeah, I'm playing single player. It might be easier 2-player. I'd imagine it might be more interesting 2-player. It's okay single player, but I do not have Wizorb to compare it to. Sure. I just have Fire Striker, which let you move freely around the map, up, down, left, right. This lets you only move left and right.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if Wizorb let you move up and down or not.
It didn't. No.
Okay, so then it's probably more comparable to Wizorb then.
Cool. I like Wizorb, so this looks fine.
Yeah. Then I tried out Smashing the Battle, which is a weird beat 'em up on the Switch, which apparently was also like a mobile game too, or something like that. Seems like a nice mindless hack and slash.
There's a lot of ladies in this one.
Yeah, like 2.
There's a lot of them though.
Yeah, like 2.
It seems like it's all right. It's just like a weird hack and slash. You get like a couple like special abilities you can use that are on cooldown timers and stuff like that. Like there's magnets to draw enemies together. There's bombs you can drop. There's a meter you can build. Like there's a super meter and stuff like that. It just like it. I was just like, all right, I'm in the mood for just like a hack and slash. It's comparable mindset to say Dynasty Warriors, but like nowhere near that extreme. Like you'll get like 20 robots attacking you at once, you'll take them down, and then you'll have to do like a little bit of obstacle dodging and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool.
Seemed all right. Probably out of the 3, the one I was okay with the most.
How much is this game?
God, I forget because I think it was on sale when I picked it up.
Gotcha.
Which was the other reason I jumped in on it. Yeah, like I said, mindless hack and slash seems all right. That's pretty much it. Like the move is kind of screwing up everything. Like I had intended to play through Devil May Cry 5 by now, but
yeah,
but never really got to sit down and go through that.
Yeah,
and I suspect next week I probably won't have much to talk about either because of the packing up stuff.
Do you think Earth Defense Force Iron Rain is worth me getting? I haven't gotten 5, and I'm like, it's a full price release is kind of what I'm a little...
I know, that's the problem. Do you remember liking 4.1?
So I liked 4.1 more when I could play it on PC with my friends.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. This is only on PS4.
yeah.
6-player online, 8-player versus mode for some reason. I don't know. I haven't tried that out.
Okay.
Less stages, about 52 versus like whatever 70 or 80 the other games had, but 5 difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
The main complaint I'm sure that Giant Bomb was dropping, saying it was a step back, is you don't get random weapon drops. You beat a stage on a difficulty and it gives you a predetermined unlock, but then you need to get currency to actually unlock it. So I'm pretty sure that's what the quote unquote step back is.
No, that doesn't sound familiar, but maybe that's like another complaint or something.
Maybe.
Why do you like it more, I guess?
Fresher coat of paint, character creator, feels like it runs a bit smoother. I like some of the changes they made. The overdrive's a good panic move. I like the idea that you can there's items you can get now. But unfortunately using them costs you currency, which is that might be a little reason why, because like the vehicles are considered items now. Every class can use every weapon, so you're not forced to use a specific character and then just only unlock weapons for them.
I do like that. Yeah. Have you ridden an ant?
Yes, that's a specific class's super.
Is it fun?
It's all right, and it's all right. You get it for like 30 seconds.
Gotcha. Okay.
That class is kind of weird because it's basically an Attack on Titan class. You have the double grappling hook that brings you towards enemies or walls. And then you can equip a sword and you just start slashing them up. It's literally Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
It is fun though.
Yeah.
But I like the wing diver, which they call jet lifter, I think, in this game.
Okay.
But I also played a bit of EDF 5 before I did that. And at EDF 5, apparently you can unlock weapons for all classes at once now, which was a big change. And it's as goofy as always. Like Iron Rain's a bit more serious, quote unquote.
Weird. Okay.
But like not to like that extreme that Insect Armageddon was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I like it. Well, here's the thing. Like my arguing and talking about this is going to do nothing for you, Paul, because both 5 and Iron Rain are still full price.
I know. That's the problem. So I was like, well, I could buy one of them. Do I buy this or this? I mean, I could buy both and just not eat for a week, I guess, or something.
At this point, I would say get Iron Rain because people are playing it now, so you'll have people, worst case.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, it depends either way on how you want to go on that.
Sure.
All right, is that it?
Yep.
All right. I've been playing a bunch in the last 2 weeks. I already mentioned Risk Rain 2. I beat the Division 2. So right now I'm just kind of going through the world tiers, I guess, and kind of replaying missions with new enemies.
The real Division 2 starts now.
Yeah, and that's really cool. I really like how much there is for the end game, which is going to be in contrast to what I'm going to talk about next. But yeah, just having a whole new set of enemies to fight that have like robots is very cool.
The first raid's out this weekend too, right?
I have no idea. Is it?
I think so.
That's going to be a game changer for one of my days then. If that's the case. 8-player raid. That sounds crazy. So, although I bet, while you're looking it up, what's the gear score you need to be at? Because I bet I'm not close enough. But I bet it's pretty high.
They actually released World Tier 5, I believe, in the last patch, so I'm sure you have to be that. Probably.
Okay, so I just got to World Tier 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like just under 300 or so.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, raid would be cool. I do want to play that with my co-op buddy, but still playing the Division, still enjoying that.
It's fun.
I also finished Anthem. And something very odd that happened when I was playing those last few missions is it stopped matchmaking me with people, which made some of those missions absolute nightmares because I was playing on hard, which is totally doable when you got like a full crew of 4. And for the record, matchmaking with people was never an issue. It was constantly getting me in a full squad of 4. But when you're playing one like solo on hard, I just wasn't doing enough damage to the enemies where their shields would respawn too fast, and I had to keep hiding because my shields would not last long enough, especially being the the warlock class or whatever the elemental magic class is. You have very low health and shields, so that became a nightmare to the point where I had to knock it down to normal, and then I finally found one person they match made me with, because I was like, I'm not doing the last mission solo after what I just went through in the mission previously. So that was kind of a bummer. And then the end game to that seems to be like, hey, just play the same stuff again if you want. So that was, like I said, in contrasting to Division 2, definitely did not hold up.
Yeah.
But I still do have those 2 additional strongholds they give you, which I would like to just go through and see because I liked that first stronghold. I do think the pacing of here's one stronghold at the beginning of the game, and then they give you 2 more after you complete the game is very odd. That's an odd pacing when you look at the Division where it's like, hey, we'll give you one every like 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice pacing. So I don't know what's going on with Anthem. From the subreddit, it sounds like they've just kind of gone quiet as well. So things are not looking good for Anthem with its like post game support.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. I would like to at least see the raid, the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
But who knows, man? I don't know how much longer Anthem is going to be a thing.
So the Division 2's raid was supposed to come out on April 25th, and they pushed it to May to fix some stuff, and people are saying you should be probably above 500 gear score.
Oh, cool. So I'll just double my gear score. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, at least I got more time to do that now.
Yeah.
Also played through all of Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah. Okay.
And I actually liked that more than Far Cry 5 because it was shorter.
Sure, there is that. Yep.
I didn't finish 5, but they're basically the same game when it comes down to like what you're playing.
How do you like it compared to Blood Dragon, which is the thing that everybody compares it to because that's what it is? It's that thing, basically.
I mean,
without any of the charisma behind it.
I don't really know if you should compare those two. Blood Dragon seems like it just like it's its own little bonkers off the rail kind of thing.
I mean, this was too, though.
I don't think this went anywhere near as bonkers. It goes pretty silly, but I didn't think it went Blood Dragon silly.
No, but it's the same type of thing. It's a side story that happens after the main events of the first thing, or like a side story sort of thing.
It is a side story, sure.
But it has no charm or like reason to exist, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know if I would say that. I like Blood Dragon more. I think there's more differences to it. They went a lot further with Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
I was fine with playing through this game. It being budget price was definitely nice. This isn't much of a spoiler, but you get superpowers like halfway through, which is definitely a lot of fun to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that aspect of it. As far as the story goes, I don't really care. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. All of its connections to 5, I actually did find kind of interesting.
Okay.
And I don't even know why that is. I didn't finish 5. I didn't even like get halfway through 5. I beat one of the bosses. So I guess I did a third of 5. But finding out that there was like more of a connection to 5 than just it's the same map, but like decades later, I actually thought that was kind of interesting, and so that stuff was kind of cool. But I mean, at some points you get to fight a bear, and that was cool.
Sure.
So I liked it more than I expected, and I played through all of it, and I played through it all in co-op, which probably helped quite a bit because it made everything real easy and just a silly time. So yeah, there you go. And then having played through that, I started up Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, I've been actually playing this again.
Okay, I don't like having free time, so I decided to start a 70-hour Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, man.
Which is there goes all of my single player gaming for the next couple months, basically.
Yep.
And I don't really know what to say other than it's just it's Origins again, and I like Origins a lot.
Yeah.
So it was basically just like riding a bike again. Like at this point, Assassin's Creed Origins kind of became like comfort food for me. I could just kind of always put it on, and there was like a mission to go do.
Uh-huh.
And this is just that game again. Like I'm playing it
Yep.
exactly like Origins.
Yep.
I'm playing as Cassandra because
Yep,
why
me too.
wouldn't you play as Cassandra? I don't like the boat stuff, and I've said that since like Assassin's Creed 4.
I thought it was okay. It's fine. I don't know. It gets better when you can actually upgrade some stuff and not suck ass at everything.
So I mean, you could always have upgrade. You can always upgrade your ship in all of the Assassin's Creed ones. I guess except for maybe not Origins because those were like side stuff. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
there's always been like a skill path for the boat stuff as well. I just don't care about that combat. Like the
Mm.
boat, it's just clunky. It takes a while. It's just this back and forth of like arrow volleys and defending, which is actually I don't really care about the combat too much in Assassin's Creed either.
Oh, really?
There's
I like the combat. It's the only reason I care about that game.
I play them as like assassins. I like going stealthy. I like coming down to like a camp and kind of puzzle gaming it out of like how can I do this without being spotted? I really enjoy that kind of stuff.
Mm. I run in and just
Um,
start stabbing everybody and get in a fight with 100 people.
But like I feel like I just can't deflect fast enough, especially when there's like 3 people on me.
No, parrying's garbage in this game. You just got to do the
Yeah.
dodge so you get the like slow-mo effect.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the parrying's garbage, I agree.
But what this game also does, so the difference between this and in Origins is there's the emphasis on the boat stuff,
Yeah.
which is a bummer. But there's also a new mechanic where it's similar to Breath of the Wild, in which you need to kind of weaken a territory. So
Sure.
you'll come into an area, there'll be a boss, and it says, hey, you can fight this boss whenever you want. But if you go do these side activities, it'll weaken like the boss's hold on the area and make the boss easier to fight in the end. And that'll include stuff like, torching his or her supplies, stealing treasure, taking over different outposts, stuff like that. But even after you do that, and even after you like kill the boss, you then need to wage a war to actually claim that area. And I just did one of these so far. And I hate that because it's just nonstop like fight random NPCs over and over again. And I guess you liked this, Paul. You like fighting a whole bunch of people at once.
I didn't like the war thing because it's one-on-one for like 10 minutes. I like getting a giant group and having to like puzzle my way on like how am I going to beat 20 guys attacking me at one time.
This one it was pretty consistently 2-on-1 against me. I don't know
why
that case was. Yeah, there was always like a
Interesting.
second person coming over.
Are you talking maybe I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about the like there's 2 sides battling and you're just like fighting whoever.
There's like 2 bars on the top of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always had 2 on me for whatever
really?
reason. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Anyways, I just don't like that because it's just like I don't care about the actual hand-to-hand combat stuff. I prefer much more of like being the assassin and whatnot. But I mean, what can you do? So I don't think I'm gonna like this one as much as Origins, but there's enough of Origins there that there's enough for me to enjoy. Like I'm enjoying 90% of what the game has, depending on how much boat stuff they do throw my way. But anyway, I mean, I've played plenty of the Assassin's Creed boat stuff, so I know my way around that.
There's a whole bunch of side missions that are just boat things. I guess you just don't have to do in general.
Yeah,
so.
I'll probably skip those. There's a ton of missions, like, because there's like quest boards now, and I did one from that where it was like, get me a couple skins, and I was like, oh, I see your game, Odyssey. I am never reading a quest board again.
Yeah, like it's at the point where it just says got multiple quests, and it's like, well, all right. Like the game doesn't even tell me what new quests sometimes you talk to a dude, it's just like they have like 10 things for you to do, I guess. So there you go.
Did you play Origins?
No, I skipped it.
All right, yeah. I almost want to say, and again, I haven't played enough Odyssey to fully make this decision, but I almost want to say Origins is a better game. It's like a tighter package. I also think I like the environments in Origins more. And there's plenty of environments in Odyssey for me to still see, of course. But just having all of like the orange and golden sand everywhere and like the reeds and like the hippos and stuff was really cool in Origins. I loved hanging out in that game. So we'll see how Odyssey does. But yeah, Origins doesn't have anywhere near as many quests. I'd say it has like 75% of them, but they're all pretty like meaningful and cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting so far. But yeah, that was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I'm sure I'll be playing on and off for the next 6 months.
Rest of your life.
Yeah, basically until whatever the other one comes out. Luckily, I have until next year now, so I got time.
Yeah, exactly.
And where is my Prince of Persia 2008 sequel? That's the real question.
The question that only you and like 10 other people on a message board somewhere are talking about.
Basically, yep. I played through a game called Quarantine Circular on the Switch. This is the follow-up to what was it? Subspace Circular? Oh crap, what was the other one? I have to look this up. I'm gonna what is it? Is it Subspace Circular? This is a Mike Bithell game. Subsurface Circular, that's what it was. This is a follow-up to Subsurface Circular. This is on PC and Switch. I think those are the only two. I'm playing it on Switch. Came out on PC a while ago. I don't know how long it's been on Switch, but it was on sale last week. These are basically visual novels. In Subsurface Circular, you were like a robot detective in the subway, talking to different robots and trying to figure out the answer to like a mystery. This one, you take a number of different perspectives, but the concept is an alien has come to Earth late into it's almost kind of like apocalyptic disease has spread throughout the earth, so tons of millions of people are dying. And so the question is like, oh, is the alien kind of connected to this outbreak? The alien says he wants to help us, though. Is he lying? So you have to kind of talk your way through trying to figure out who you're going to trust. One of like the early kind of decisions is the alien has a restraint on it, and you're just an engineer asked to come and talk to the alien. So you get to decide, do you want to take the restraint off? Is that mean that they're shocking the alien if he leaves the circle? Or should you keep the restraint on? Because you don't know what this alien will do.
Mm-hmm.
And you take this, sometimes you get to play as the alien. Sometimes you get to play as, the chief of military, who's definitely not trusting the alien, stuff like that. So this is a more in-depth game than Subsurface was. And there's more kind of weight to all your decisions. Subsurface felt more just kind of like, it's kind of a non-decision based visual novel. It's just a story. You're just reading through it. This one, you're making choices. You're making things happen. So I guess I kind of like it more. But they're both very good. If you like, mystery, visual novel-y kind of stuff, these games are $5. And I recommend them quite a bit. Really nicely designed games. So I would recommend those. That's Quarantine Circular is the most recent one, and that came out like late last year, I believe. But that does it for what I've been playing.
All right.
So let's do some news. And a lot of big things have happened, not including this first story that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 release date has been announced, and that's July 19th.
Cool, man.
Which I'm excited for. I like those Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah, they're fun.
We also got 10 more games announced for the Genesis Mini. Which,
yes.
I think John and I were talking about on like the last episode.
I was
something
here as
like
well.
that. Yeah, we're talking about what we get some good additions.
Yeah,
I guess like a couple of them showed up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to read off the list?
Let me load it up because I'm trying to go off memory here. There we go. Thunder Force 3. Oh wait, this is the Japanese list. Sorry. The American list is Earthworm Jim, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, Contra Hardcore, Streets of Rage 2, Thunder Force 3, Super Fantasy Zone, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, and Landstalker. A lot of those are really good.
Yeah, what are you excited about?
I always like Earthworm Jim. Contra Hardcore was good. Streets of Rage 2 is excellent. Thunder Force 3 is excellent. Shinobi 3 is good, and Landstalker is pretty good from what I've heard. There's a bunch of really good games on there.
Are any of the Japan ones? Are you jealous of?
Yeah, I'm jealous of Musha because that is the rarest Genesis game. So it's a really good shmup, a top-down shooter. But I don't know why they're not bothering to put it. Oh, they're probably not putting it on the North American one because no one's played it because it's so stupid expensive.
Well, maybe you got to import a Japanese one.
Yeah, like just the cartridge of Musha is $200 US. So that's more expensive than the entire Genesis Classic or whatever the hell they're calling it, Genesis Mini. So literally you could just buy it for that alone and you would be saving money.
Yeah.
Paul, you excited about Genesis Mini?
Sorry, I'm looking something else up that we didn't grab.
I think I'm looking at the same thing as you.
Is it the Capcom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have that on there? Oh, man.
We need to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that next.
Mini, yes, but I probably not enough to buy one, I guess. Like, if I didn't get the SNES one, I don't see what chance this has, so.
You didn't get an SNES one?
No, I didn't.
Why not? Why not? You just already had them somewhere else?
Yeah, I guess I don't care enough.
Sure. Do you have a NES one?
No, I don't have any of them. But maybe I'll get this Capcom one.
You're not even a real gamer.
We need to talk about this stupid Capcom stick.
This is the one you will buy, right?
Yeah, the $200 American one. This is the one I'm going for.
Okay, why don't you explain what this other one is?
It's literally the Capcom logo with 2 sticks and 2 sets of controls on it, which is a plug-and-play device offering up some official Capcom arcade classics. I guess the big one that people were talking about is apparently it has Alien vs. Predator on it, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I have the full list.
That's the first re-release of that.
Yeah, I'm looking for the list here.
I have the list here.
Okay.
Full list is 1944, The Loop Master.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Alien vs. Predator, Armored Warriors, Capcom Sports Club, Captain Commando,
Dope.
Cyberbots Full Metal Madness, Darkstalkers The Night Warriors, Echo Fighters Final Fight, Ghouls and Ghosts, Giga Wing, Mega Man The Power Battle.
Oh, man.
Pro Gear, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Strider, and Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Here's the thing. These games are great. This thing is dumb and expensive in a way that I can't get behind.
Yeah, let's kind of put it in perspective. Most of these mini consoles are anywhere between, like, I don't know, 60 and $100 American.
Holy shit, that's 200 euros. That wasn't even dollars.
Yes.
so
that's the kicker.
60 to $100 American, and you're getting around 20 to 30 games, let's say.
Yeah, in that range.
The Capcom one is, again, it was 220 euros, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't have the.
I think that worked out to about 400 Canadian or something like that.
Oh, geez. This is 16 games. This is the lowest number of games.
$330.53 Canadian.
So what you're really paying for is this double fight stick thing.
Yeah.
Is pretty much the price of like a Switch or like an Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah. That's weird. For like
the stick itself is made of Sanwa parts, which is why it's so expensive. But like everyone I know that plays,
explain what that is.
Sanwa is like one of the top brands for fighting game parts, so arcade parts. So like good quality buttons, good control stick, stuff like that. The problem is all the guys I know that would buy this because they're fighting game players are shitting on the stick because it's literally the Capcom logo just cut out of plastic.
Yeah.
And there's no like arm rests for your wrist or anything, so you get caught between like the C and the O.
This thing doesn't even have a cup holder.
It just well, no, not even a cup holder. It's like literally like it's uncomfortable to play.
Yeah.
Also, you'd be like right beside someone. I mean, I guess you're capturing the arcade.
That's the arcade experience, but like it also sucks if it's just you're by yourself. You've got this weird off-balance stick now.
You invite your buddy over, and you're both gonna huddle up on your full-size couch. that you're gonna use only 2/3 of and touch elbows.
It's pretty bad.
What if
Yeah.
I'm just saying Evo comes up and this is the fight stick someone brings up just to you're gonna use the left half of it?
I'm sure it'll happen. If nothing else, to get
That'd be
signed by
hilarious.
somebody. I could see that.
He's like, yo, I'm not even using the right stick. You're this is easy mode for me.
Yeah.
You know I'm serious if I go on the right side of my stick.
The people that
Yeah,
buy
no.
this are the fighting game YouTubers that have a big enough audience that they'll put out one video of them using it. They'll make their money back instantly, and then they'll put it in the background as like backdrop prop.
Yep, exactly.
Which speaking of which, John, are you gonna get one of these?
No, God, dude, $300?
It's way
Jesus.
too much. Like,
It's a weird thing to have though. It belongs in a museum, you might say.
The kicker is
yeah.
like it's apparently there's at least 3 arcade games on that thing that have never been re-released before. Alien vs. Predator, I think 1944, and there's one other game out of the whole set. So people are like, "Fuck, we really want to play these games, but we also don't want to own this stupid thing."
Like, but some of these have to be able to like. Oh, they're not anywhere. You can't buy them officially anywhere, even online.
No, there's not like they were never in like a PS2 re-release collection or anything
Okay.
like that. Like literally, the only way to play them is to emulate them or find the original machine.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if anything, this is just inviting more people to emulate it because they're not making it easy.
Yep.
This goes on sale October 25th, by the way.
October. Oh wow.
Let's what's the price you would buy this at? Like, and be realistic here, obviously. So
$100.
100
Canadian?
That's as high as I would go.
100 American, I could see. Like, yeah, probably not Canadian, but yeah. So what is that? 140 maybe.
So I won't even really answer.
As the audience for this, 100 Canadian.
But
sure.
Really, because like if you're gonna buy a fight stick, you're gonna spend more than 100 Canadian, aren't you?
Yeah, you're right,
No.
and that's pretty much like if you want a good one, if you want a Sanwa Parts one, you're probably spending that much.
I mean, you can get a good fight stick for like 70 if you like were being cheap about it. Not like
I would say
high.
if you're being cheap.
Yeah, so like even as a fight stick.
What if you're buying 2 fight sticks though, and then duct taping them together?
Yeah, there is that.
You gotta think about that.
So what you could do is buy the parts and like make it yourself, and that might be the cheap. Well, you could make this easily with like an emulator built in and everything, and that might be like that might save you a couple $100 if you do it that way.
You could make your own Capcom logo, but instead of an O, it's the poop emoji.
Oh my god!
There you go.
The Crapcom.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, actually.
That was very good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at prices for like high-end fight sticks, and most of them are bouncing between 150 to 230 bucks.
I could see that, sure.
See, this is an investment, though. If you break one, you have a backup right there. What other fight stick can do that?
But here's the thing, though. We're assuming that's how this works. It might not work like that. It might be one of those situations where, like, if you're trying to use the player 2 stick, you can't play X game.
Because it only registers as player 2.
Yeah. Now, assuming because this is arcade emulation, it's probably not the case. It'll probably be fine. But like, there's the off chance that could happen.
Yeah, this is a weird thing.
Yeah,
this is a super weird thing. Anyway, all right, moving on to some more stories. PSN name changes. This went live. This is old news, but kind of worth talking about. These are live now. First one's free. Otherwise, it's $10 for the following ones. I think $5 if you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber. Couple things to note is that you still have your old one, even if you do a name change. You kind of own both of them, which is kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it maintains the old one too in some way, which I'm assuming is for older games. Like they kind of needed to do that. So even if you switch off names, they're not freeing up those old ones. They're still tied to your new account. I was gonna switch it. I was just gonna get my name, but someone took my name.
Great.
I mean, you're probably not the only Sean Booker around.
I don't know anyone else on when I Google my name. It's just me that pops up. So
You
I'm the
the one
most
with an online presence. So there you go.
I got the best SEO. Come at me. Anyway, there's some issues. There's a list of games. There's games with issues identified, and then games with critical issues. The games with issues identified is pretty long, so I'm not going to read all of them. But there are some like heavy hitters in here, like Uncharted 4, Uno, Titanfall 2. You know, all your favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty Ghosts, Bloodborne. What's more interesting is the list of games with critical issues, which is a much smaller list. So I'll just read these ones out. Disc Jam, Just Dance 2017, Little Big Planet 3, MLB The Show 14 to 16, Onrush, which is like the only game I care about on this list, The Golf Club 2, and Worms Battlegrounds.
These are games that have issues if you change your name.
These ones have critical issues if you change your PSN name.
Oh my god.
So, what's weird though is Sony's not really coming out and saying what the specific issues are. They're kind of leaving it up to the community to find out, I guess.
Great.
For the games with critical issues, I'll just kind of read this short blog post. Games which have been tested and one or more of the following known issues which we considered fundamental to the gameplay experience. So one of these might happen to the list I just mentioned. User may lose in-game currency, whether paid for or earned. Loss of game progress, including scores and progress toward trophy unlocking. Loss of UGC, or parts of the game may not function properly, both online and offline. I'm not sure what UGC is. And then they say, if you have a game in this category, we do not recommending changing your online ID if you wish to continue playing that game without losing its entitlements and achievements, which you have already bought or released. So the stuff with the known issues was a lot smaller, and some of them were even like, hey, after you play one game, it'll fix itself.
It's
like
user-generated content. UGC.
But even so, like the list of smaller issues is probably like 4 times as long, maybe 5 times as long. And again, we don't really know what the specific issues are. It's weird that Sony isn't coming out and being totally transparent with this.
I wonder if some of these critical issues are because there's nobody like doing anything to update these games anymore. Like, do you think they still have people updating MLB 14 the show?
I have no idea.
Maybe that's what the critical issue is.
That's it.
Yeah. If something goes red.
2017 is not super old, and they still make Just Dance games, so I would assume they're
Just Dance is a weird one. Yeah. Because, like, I was thinking Onrush, and then I was like, oh, there's, like, nobody looking at that shit anymore, probably. So maybe that's that issue.
Is like, gone.
Yeah, so.
Well, they didn't mention anything about no one's there to update it. They just said, like, something's going to happen in-game, basically. So I guess if any of these games are on the list that you're super into, be careful about changing your name. All right, moving on. Xbox had another Inside Xbox event, which was a live stream, and they talked about a few things. They started off, though, officially announcing the Xbox One SAD. SADbox.
The SADbox.
It's official.
It's SADbox.
So there's a discless Xbox One S, and it is going to be priced at $250. I don't remember what we were guessing.
Me neither.
We were saying that for it to be competitive, it had to be 200 or below, I believe. I think that's what I said.
I'm just not sure what past Sean said. I don't remember. So if anyone recently listened to that episode and is in the chat right now, let us know what our predictions were. Because
I think I assumed 200.
I think 200 seems like a real like cutthroat price. That would have been real nice. Specifically because Xbox One S's, the bundles right now are $250.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
I'm assuming they're doing that right now because they don't want people to wait. That's all I can really think of.
Sure.
Let's see. It's going to have a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's also going to come with a couple games already. I'm trying to see what the list was. One of them was Forza Horizon 3, which
Forza
is
Horizon 3, Sea of Thieves, and Minecraft. That's what it comes with.
Sure. I knew Minecraft. Forza Horizon 3 is weird because Forza Horizon 4 is out, and it's not even that new of a game. So why not give us 4? But whatever. 3's good.
Mm-hmm.
I did this is just silly fun anecdote. I was watching the live stream on Twitch, and they revealed the box. They revealed the SADbox, and one guy just goes, "I'm not getting it. That thing is ugly as fuck." And it is literally just a white rectangle. Like, it's not a weird shape.
It is the S. It's what the S
There's
looks
nothing
like.
weird
just
on
without
it.
The drive.
It is. They even showed a funny little video of someone just deleting the 3D model disk drive, and then that was it. So I don't know what that guy's problem was. But this is the plainest, cleanest box you could have, but that was ugly as fuck to him or her. Anyway, I still think this is such an interesting thing. I'm obviously not in the market for it, but a diskless console, this is the future, man. Get ready. And obviously it comes with a controller and all that jazz. They also did announce, which had been leaked a few days earlier, was Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is a combined subscription service for Gold and Game Pass, which I believe we had been talking about. Of course, they're going to do that. I think I had assumed it was going to be something for next gen. And I understand, and I think I saw the math that it works out to be the exact same price as if you had bought the 2 yearly annual subscriptions. It will save you a bit of money if you were on the monthly ones, I think, from what I understand. But I think that just makes sense, and they said that it'll work for anyone if they have a subscription currently going. If they don't, everything will just kind of transfer nicely and cut the price however it should be if you're doing whatever. And those were kind of the main announcements at the Inside Xbox event. Moving on to some really important news. We got the release date for the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I'm reading up on this right now, actually.
What did you learn? Because I have not read up on this.
I have learned that it will be coming out March 4th, 2022. And that is only 1,053 days, or about 34 months, or 150 weeks, or 1.5 million minutes. Not that they're counting anyways, lol. Okay, what else do we have here? Apparently it's going to be the story of a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers. After the malevolent Ender Dragon sets out on a path of destruction, they must save their beautiful, blocky overworld. And it will be... They're partnered with Warner Brothers for this, and it's being directed by Peter Sollett, who did Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Huh. I like
These
that
are
movie.
things I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Who's excited?
Woo.
Yep.
You gonna go see it, John?
No.
Okay. What if it gets a really good review score?
I mean, you can't guarantee that it won't do that, so.
No, I definitely can't. This could be the Citizen Kane.
If this was the Citizen Kane of Minecraft, sure, I'd go watch it.
All right, John, he said it here first. Got to hold him to it. This is just kind of a PSA and kind of a bit of deja vu for probably John and I. GameStop is launching a Guaranteed to Love It program in which they're going to do it with a sub-series of games. You buy the game, you can bring it back within 48 hours and get a full refund in store credit. They think it's guaranteed you're going to love this game, but if you don't, there you go. EB Games did this, but it was a week, wasn't it?
That was for it is trade credit. Never mind. They did this for certain titles.
Yeah, like I remember Red Dead was one of them. The first Red Dead.
It was pretty much any game they knew they wanted to have used, so they could get the money back on it.
Wait, wasn't God of War one? And because we tried to get the most pre-orders for that.
Yes, God of War. Yeah, we won like a prize for God of War 3. I want to say it was.
It would have been 3. I understand. I remember we did not win. But anyway,
Didn't we get something, but they just never delivered it? I forget what the hell the whole thing was. It was stupid what it was.
I don't know. You would have known more. Anyway, so EB Games has done this before. The first game they're doing this is Days Gone. So if you're interested in Days Gone, but you kind of don't want to spend money on it, pick up the game, play as much as you can in 48 hours. I understand that game is very long. And then bring it back and you can get your money back in trade credit, which I guess you can just put towards the next game they're going to do this with. Until they eventually go out of business, because it can't be long now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, this is the actual biggest news of the week. Wired ran a report. They got to sit down with Mark Cerny, and they talked about the next PlayStation in a surprising amount of detail. This came out of nowhere. It's also kind of questionable why they're doing this right now in April. So some things we learned, they're not calling it the PlayStation 5. They're just calling it the next PlayStation for right now. It doesn't mean it can't be the 5. That's just not what they're going with. Did you guys read up on this stuff?
I did, yeah.
I did not know.
John, do you want to say some points maybe you remember?
They did a side-by-side comparison to a PS4 Pro and the current system. And they wanted to compare the loading time. So they ran Spider-Man, and they did the comparison of fast travel, and I think it was like 30 seconds versus 1 second or something like that.
15 seconds on the Pro,
yeah,
and 0.8 seconds on. I'm just going to say the PlayStation 5 from here out, just because it's.
Just call it PS5. Let's be real.
So it was 15 seconds on the Pro. The fast travel was 0.8 seconds on the PS5, and this was specifically to talk about how fast it can go and how fast it can load, because it's going to have SSDs in it.
It's going to have a special designed solid state drive that they say goes faster than any on the market solid state drive currently available. So specifically built for the PlayStation.
And they had a dev kit in there. It was just concealed in a big silver tower. I'm just kind of reading some points off there.
Okay.
John, if you want to keep mentioning whatever else.
I'm trying to remember what else was in it. They mentioned the architecture for it is going to be very similar to PS4. It's to a point where it's going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah, kind of expanding on that is they specifically said it's going to be a more gentle transition where there will be a number of games coming out on both.
Yeah. And the big thing that the article teased was they were talking about Kojima's game Death Stranding, and they would neither confirm nor deny that it was going to be both systems or not.
They're using AMD chip. Okay.
Yeah, so it's got ray tracing, I believe, was the big thing.
Oh, that was the other one. Yeah, and I saw some people in our Discord were asking like what ray tracing was. This was a big topic when they announced the 20 series of graphics cards.
Yeah, so right now it's only NVIDIA actually that does ray tracing, so that's kind of surprising to see AMD is coming out the gates with a PS5 kind of. Obviously,
well, it kind of makes sense. Like you want to show that you can do it, and why not go with the biggest consumer market that's out, which is the PlayStation market out of the three.
Mm-hmm. By the time this comes out, ray tracing will be just a thing. So that's cool though, because like, why wouldn't they go for the best? Right?
Like, kind of, just to expand on the ray tracing for those interested, ray tracing deals a lot with how light and reflections are processed. And then I don't know the nitty gritty of it.
It's literally a rendering device where they render like light as pixels basically, so when it hits an object it has kind of a realistic light look instead of an algorithm that does shadowing.
Right, or them having to fake it by putting like more light sources where there actually wouldn't technically be one. They can kind of have one light source and then it properly is going through things or reflecting off surfaces, and so on. To touch on that more, they also mentioned, and I'm way out of my depth now, is they're going to be using ray tracing in an audio capacity as well.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with this, but essentially they're improving how stereo and surround audio works to a point where I think Cerny said headphone experience is going to be the best experience.
Yeah, I have the quote right here. I'll just kind of read this paragraph. Audio improvements will be a big focus, Wire continued, while I'm reading the Kotaku article about the Wired one. While ray tracing is primarily used for graphics, Cerny notes it can have audio benefits. It's all the same thing as taking a ray through the environment, he said. It might help players hear small, subtle sounds coming from sneaking around enemies, for example.
Sure.
With the next console, the dream is to show how dramatically different the audio experience can be when we apply significant amounts of hardware horsepower to it, said Cerny.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah, this makes me it reminded me of when, not on this Inside Xbox, but the previous one where they talked about how they were going to start implementing surround sound for content that doesn't have surround sound built in. How Microsoft's going to be like through software building that, which I thought was very cool, especially as someone who recently got a surround sound system.
Sure.
Everything. And then I think the only other topic we haven't touched on is that they're still sticking with VR and that the current headsets will work on the PS5.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. It sounds like the PS5 is going to have some real power to it, so totally makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll probably be another headset as well, a version 2 or whatever, or maybe 3, because there's been like a couple smaller kind of improvements.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that they're going to support the old headset as someone who owns that.
Yeah.
But it also makes a lot of sense because they have a huge install base, and starting over would definitely not help VR. VR needs all the help it can get in terms of getting people in there and playing it.
Agreed.
So that's cool. I believe I can't remember if they specifically said it 2020 or not.
I mean, that would be real dope. That would be real good.
They kind of reiterated that the PlayStation 5 should release in 2020 as they have reported in the past. And that'll also kind of wind up with Sony's console having a 7-year lifespan like the PS3 did. So yeah, interesting stuff. Do you guys have any takeaways?
I'm a little nervous about how much it's going to cost.
Sure.
My big takeaway is there's very, very, very few games that take advantage of NVIDIA's ray tracing abilities on PC as it is. It's kind of like the jump to 4K or HD or whatever, where it took a little bit of time to get people really into it, although HD was like real quick, so maybe not as much of that. This is a nice step towards ensuring third-party games for PC players are going to have ray tracing abilities and like built in, like it's just gonna like look better for people that can do that stuff on PC. So it's good for everybody that this is happening on console.
Right. They should be like forward thinking though, because they don't want to come out and already be like, half a year behind or a year behind.
I mean, they're going to be behind PC always because that's just modular design versus console. It's just going to happen.
Right.
They definitely are going to be the top tier for, like, if all this I'm reading here is true, for console, and that scares me for pricing. That's the part that I'm like...
Do you think they're going to pull a PS3 again?
I'd be surprised if we get this for less than 1,000 Canadian.
What? Are you serious? No way.
It's like I could see 700 American.
Here's the thing: if it was coming out this year, I'd almost say Paul's correct, but that's probably why they're not even saying anything till 2020. Like, what I find weird is the fact that they're saying, "Yeah, we're probably not going to talk about this at E3 because we don't have a conference." Like, it's weird that they're like teasing a PS5 and being like, "This is the year we're not doing anything at E3."
Yeah, that is weird because if you look at the last consoles, they were kind of announced and then they came out 6 months later. Not even 6 months later, like 3 months later. It was like June to what, like October?
Something
like that.
Something like that, yeah. Mike, I think a more realistic. I shouldn't say that. I think the price point will be either 400 or 500 American.
What are you basing that on?
I mean, you're saying 1,000 Canadian, which
why is that realistic?
American.
When you consider that it's about 360 for the chip alone, not including the graphics processor for what they're talking about.
There's no way they come out with an $800 console. There's no way. There's no way.
I mean, I hope you're
I say
right.
800 Canadian, maybe.
800 Canadian. So that would be around $600. So that would be
How much was the Xbox One X when that thing came out?
500.
So that was about 650 Canadian.
American, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
PS3 launched at 600, right?
$599 US dollars. That was the thing.
Okay. That clearly shot them in the foot. So I can't see them doing that again. The only reason I could see that they did that in the first place is they had such a lead in the last console. They do have that lead again, but I can't see them making the same mistake.
Well, I don't know. My only issue is I feel like we as consumers have shown we're willing to pay stupid prices for these things now. So I think
like kind of
Sony's going to test that.
I mean,
I think Sony's going to test that theory.
The thing is I'm not basing this on, oh, well, it was a mistake. I'm saying that right now, if you bought this stuff that can do this right now and build a PC with it, you're looking at an expensive machine. Like, I'm just looking at what the price of this shit is that they're saying. So it'll decrease, obviously, because everything in technology does within like a few months, let alone a year. I can't see paying less than 800 Canadian for this thing. I can't see that happening currently.
I'm looking at it like, even if the components cost that much, they will eat that cost and hope to make it up on the back end with.
But how much are they going to eat is the problem.
I hope you're right.
The reason why I'm saying there's no way they would do that, put it that expensive, is because consumers will not spend that much, I don't think.
I sincerely hope you're right and they eat a bunch of it for sure.
I see 500 on the high end because Xbox did it with the One X. However, when the last consoles launched, Sony beat them by $100, and that clearly did a lot for them, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So
we'll have to see more information as it comes out.
For sure. It's going to get really interesting when one of them pulls the trigger and says the price first.
Yeah.
Because I bet both of them have two prices in mind.
Yeah.
And it's whichever one they land on is determined by who pulls the trigger first and then how do they respond.
Yep, I think you're right.
If Xbox
100%.
comes out and says we're doing 500 again, then I bet Sony's like, all right, we're doing 500. But if Xbox comes up and they're like 450, then Sony's going to be like, oh, man, maybe we need to go 400. You know what I mean? Or maybe we need to hit 450.
Man, I don't like, and also so if you were to make like a weaker skew of this, where do you go from like what they have here, I guess? Yeah, no.
They talked about the transition is going to be gentle. Their weaker skew is the PlayStation 4.
The PS4. I guess the PS4 Pro when you're looking comparatively.
Or the Pro, sure, yeah. But I mean, they said it's going to work on both. So the lowest could be the PS4, not Pro. And if one idea I saw or I heard from, again, the Bombcast is they were talking with this all, super digital focused world we're in now.
Yeah.
They could just release one digital version of it, and whatever console you have, it just downloads the stuff for that one. Like they're not even printing like let's say you're buying, Assassin's Creed 15, and you're buying it on a regular PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have it there, and it's just going to download the assets that the PlayStation 4 can run. But if you bought it on a PlayStation 5, it's going to download those assets.
Like how in Siege you could like just not get the HD pack if you didn't want to or whatever.
The exact thing right now is you can you get the extra bonus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, hey, if you want to play the new game, you can play it on your PS4. It's just not going to run as fast. Like you obviously know that.
Until they just phase it out completely eventually. Yeah.
Eventually, which will take a long time, right? They still made PS3 games for years, stuff like that, for sure. But that lets them cut the PS4 even cheaper. I'm curious if the Xbox comes out and if they need to have the strongest console again, because they have it now. I'm wondering if they're okay not having that again, or if they need to, get a little bit faster.
I feel like it's a miracle if this thing is under 500 or even 500 exactly. I think it's a miracle. That's a lot of hardware for kind of cheap if they release that, which would be
I don't know the
dope.
hardware. I don't know the hardware. Based on how high you're thinking, I feel pretty confident that it would go for 500 then.
The
I
stuff
can't see them
that
going over that.
the stuff that they're talking about here is like not, it's not on the low end. You're looking at high-end PC building to do this stuff. So, but again, technology, man. Like in a year, this stuff might be on the fucking street corners in the garbage can. You never know, I guess. Who knows?
All right. Looks like there is one more bit of news here.
Oh yeah,
Who
didn't.
put that? Who put
This
here?
would have been me who put this in here.
Do you want to talk about it?
So WayForward and Arc System Works are teaming up to continue the River City Ransom series. But WayForward is making a special game called River City Girls. So this is a female-themed River City Ransom style game. So that's just more like, hey, WayForward's got more on their plate other than Shantae 5. And also they have gotten one of Japan's biggest and longest running game franchises. So
Right on. And this is coming later in 2019, it looks like.
it looks like.
No other real info. Co-op game.
Pretty
Don't
much
know.
just announced today, basically. So
Okay.
Arc, yeah, it's just them and Arc System Works. So it could be a fighting game, could be a beat 'em up. No one's 100% sure yet.
River City Girls makes me think beat 'em up again.
Mhm.
Pretty much, but like River City now like could be tagged to everything because like River City Sports is like their track and field style game. River City Dodgeball is the thing.
Okay. Oh wait.
So who knows?
And I actually had one more news story. Scott from HQ has
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Scott Rogowski no longer works for HQ. He is now hosting a Major League Baseball show called Change Up.
Okay.
And apparently he had said that like he would be willing, he was hoping he could come back to HQ, maybe do some like weekend shows for them. And the CEO, who seems to have be crazy from numerous reportings over the years, said, "No way, we want someone dedicated to HQ. So you're out of here if you're leaving." I'll read this one quote from Rogowski. "Nothing in my decade-plus entertainment career has meant more to me personally and professionally than my involvement with HQ." So I guess good for him.
Yeah.
HQ sounded kind of like a nightmare to work for.
Yeah, it did.
It sounded like he had been showing up less and less because they do other hosts and stuff. I haven't played for like a year or so, but he wasn't on there daily anyway. He even asked if he could do like one more show to kind of like as a goodbye, a finale, and they said no. So he has a big long Twitter thread where he's kind of just talking about it if you want to look that up. But I put this in here because HQ was a weird thing, and Scott Rogowski was a weird guy, and here's the finale basically to his story as far as HQ goes. So good luck to Mr. Rogowski, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's keep going with some questions. Show that never ends. All right, if you want to send in questions, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter. The Discord channel and John's P.O. Box are all great ways to send questions in. I will read this first one from Kevin, who says, "What 2D fighting games have the best single-player content?"
Mortal Kombat and
Yeah.
Injustice.
I always go to
the other realm, basically.
I always go specifically Mortal Kombat 9 is the one my brain goes to every time.
I do really like in the Injustice series as well. And especially if you're a comic book fan, like those are some good, cool stories.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys say about like Smash Bros?
Smash Bros. I would put up there as well.
Yeah, like with like the World of Light stuff.
Yeah.
The Subspace Emissary, or however it's pronounced.
Yep, you got it right.
Yeah, that fan fiction is the longest written piece of literature
Not
in
wrong.
human history.
Well deserved.
That is a fact I will never stop being amazed by.
That is a different fan fiction, but yes.
Yeah.
Any other ones you guys can think of? I remember liking Soul Calibur 2 quite a bit with like its kind of challenge mode, little tree thingy.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2 had some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
3 had a whole like
I hate 3.
Yeah, 3 had like a whole like RTS kind of mode you did where the fights you got in were just proper normal fights.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
you built like a party
Would
of
you like
characters and
walk your
stuff.
character to like a tower and then attack to the tower? I hated that so much.
I really like the dumb stories from Tekken. That shit gets weird real fast.
Yeah,
So
I'll be right back.
okay.
All right.
I got Sunny's question, which is, what is the most expensive piece of equipment you guys have purchased for any medium? You don't have to disclose price if you don't want to / can't remember. And was it a tough purchase to make? And this is easy for me. Like my vehicle was the most expensive
your
thing.
Car?
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
And was it a tough purchase to make? Like, kind of, because it's kind of like just the responsible, like, I need to get around thing.
That
but
makes
like,
it an easy decision though, doesn't it?
no, because I didn't want to spend that much money. Like, I'd rather buy other stuff. Because you always have to fill it with gas, like, too. Like, it's the thing that you keep paying for.
Yeah, it's just a money hole, basically.
Yeah.
So the one I was thinking of was like most expensive thing was like, I don't know, like my rent. But I mean, I have to pay that. So it's an easy decision.
So, okay,
also, I guess that's not a piece of equipment. The car is, rent is not.
Let's discount car. Like, let's say a piece of equipment that is a luxury item, like not something you need to like live in everyday life.
So house is out.
Yes.
House is out. Yeah. House is out. Car is out. Unless you buy like a motorcycle or like a luxury car.
A luxury car, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, unless you buy a second car. How about that?
Sure.
Any thoughts, John?
That just
computer, I guess.
Yeah, PC would be my second biggest, and television.
My television was weirdly cheap. Maybe like my Xbox One X, because like I had an X, so that was kind of just like a luxury purchase for myself. Although I got that for half price too because of that weird deal. I'm trying to think, what's the most? It's actually it's probably my computer. This thing cost me like $1,000 back when I got it.
Yeah, they ain't cheap, that's for sure.
That's probably the most expensive.
What about phones? Phones can be pretty pricey.
Yeah, my phone is $1,000 too. But the thing with my phone is I use this thing every day. Like every day, like every 15 minutes I look at my phone or something. So
yeah, that's true. I guess I don't also understand like what he means by piece of equipment, just like in general, I guess.
No, I think we got it.
Just generalization. Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of why he said any medium. Otherwise, he probably would have said, game console or game thing or whatever. I'm assuming John's arcade cabinet had to be expensive, but I don't fully know.
I feel like I remember he won that.
Oh, did he? Okay,
I think so. I mean, we can ask him as soon as he gets back.
He's back now again. Oh, that was Bagel. John, did you buy your arcade cabinet or did you win that?
Won it.
Okay, I was gonna ask
that's what I
that
figured.
was expensive. Okay.
It was $60.
It's like enter the competition or whatever.
It was like $20 per ticket.
Oh, was it a raffle?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't think I've ever won anything from a raffle.
I won it. I won that, and then the next year at the same event, they had a raffle for a pinball table, and I won that there too.
You have a pinball table?
Well, I had one. I gave it away because it got broke upon getting in my possession, and I gave it to someone who was hopefully able to take a bit better care of it.
Okay, yeah, I understand pinball machines are very difficult to fix.
Well, it wasn't. It was like an '80s table. I think Hyperball. I think is what it was called. It wasn't. It was better. It's a single player Crossfire game. Would be the better way to describe it.
I don't know what that is.
It wasn't an actual pinball table. It was like you had a little ball bearing gun that you fired at targets at.
Oh, okay, kind of like with those like baseball pinball games or something.
Yeah, kind of like those.
All right. John, do you want to take this one from Hebrew Lantern?
I will in a sec once I can find it. There we go. Hebrew Lantern says, it's that time of the year, folks. Stanley Cup predictions. I don't even know anymore because the best team in the league got eliminated in a clean sweep, and the Flames were the second best team in the league, and they're about to get eliminated, so I don't even know anymore.
Who is the best team?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, they're gone?
Yeah, they lost 4-0 to Columbus.
Oh, all right. I was hearing like,
all right,
Yeah,
so far ahead.
dude, this playoff season is fucked up already. Penguins got a clean sweep by the Islanders. It's crazy what's going on right now.
well,
All right, so what's your prediction? Who's gonna win it?
Jesus.
God, I don't even know anymore. Fucking Toronto's still in it somehow. That's how blown away I am right now. I want a wild shot to win it. So I want like Vegas to get it.
Won it last year?
Or Columbus. Columbus would be great. No, Nashville won it last year.
Oh, okay. Paul, what's your prediction?
Fuck, dude. I would
It
love
sounds
it
like
if
it's an exciting Stanley Cup, though, at least, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Man, I would love to see
it
Toronto
was the
win
Capitals.
that. Holy shit.
Those the Capitals last year. My bad, not Nashville. But yeah, no, I would love to see Toronto winning it. Would be hilarious.
Toronto has been the laughing stock of fucking sport forever now.
It could be a nice, touching underdog story.
And you know what? They deserve it because their fans are so loyal through all of the garbage they have to go through.
Well, right now their series is tied 2-2. They're playing Boston, so they could win against Boston. What's coming close?
Here's hoping, I guess. Dead and Sky. Follow-up question: how much of Calgary's games will Paul not watch in order to give them a better chance?
I haven't watched any of them because I don't have TV. And it's, like, strangely hard to get local games on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the games for the Flames either.
I guess I could go to the bar and watch them. That's what people do sometimes.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. VGC Kenny says, if all video game religions or myths were actual faiths people could have, including variants of existing religions, would you follow any of them? And if so, which one? I currently don't follow any actual faith or religion, so I would say no, probably not.
What's the one that gives you superpowers? Then I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Scientology. And
yeah.
And follow it. And there's space lizards or something, from what I understand. I can't. Can you think of any video game religions off the top of your head?
The one that worships the bomb in Fallout.
Okay. Why don't you worship that one? Why aren't you picking the bomb worship one?
Because that sucks.
Yeah, what the hell were they called again? Like Sons of the Atom or something?
That sounds right.
I feel like something like... I don't know, maybe like a Cthulhu cult of some sort. That might be kind of okay. Human sacrifice and, you know, being crazy.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, that might be all right.
I feel like anytime there's like religion in games, it's like
crazy.
Cult, yeah, crazy. That's cultist. It's like a bad religion.
One of my favorite 90s bands, by the way.
There you go.
I couldn't think of how to work it in.
I mean, I was thinking of lyrics I could use that would just fly over everybody's heads. Like, nope, just gotta go with the name. Can't do it. What about Far Cry 5? Yeah, that's a good one to follow, for sure.
Yeah, again, just like crazy people, though, right?
Yeah.
All right, John, why don't you take this one from Hebrew Lantern?
Oh my god, really? Okay. Hebrew Lantern writes in again and says, who is the cutest Pokemon? Halucha.
Which one's Halucha?
That's the luchador bird.
Oh, right, okay. If I say Jinx, does that make me a racist?
Yeah, don't say it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say Jinx then. You know, the Detective Pikachu trailers, I think the Jigglypuff looks pretty cute. I think the Bulbasaurs look real cute.
In general, I think Pikachu's cute because they always put little hats and shit on him because he's the mascot, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
They put a luchador mask on them often in Smash Bros.
Yeah, he was riding that surfboard a few times. Like, Pikachu is adorable.
Eevee's pretty cute.
Mm-hmm. How about like Growlithe and Arcanine?
Yeah, I mean I like dogs, so sure. Yeah. What about like a Ditto before it transforms? I understand slime is very popular on YouTube. Just putting that out there.
All right.
Rasterman7 writes, what version of Arkanoid or Breakout would you recommend to a friend the most?
Oh, weird. I mean, I guess Wizorb, because that's the first thing that comes to mind we just talked about. And I really like it.
I like Shatter a lot.
Chatter's good. Yep.
Shatter's very good and has an awesome soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, there's some like crazy versus Arkanoid game you can get, which apparently is really good. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
Yeah, like Alien Invaders Arkanoid.
Oh yeah, I think that's actually the one. I think that's actually the one I was thinking of.
Right?
Yeah.
I have it.
I was thinking of one where like you're both of you are on like the opposite sides of the same board.
But sorry, no, it's Arkanoid versus I think Space Invaders.
Yeah, Arkanoid versus Space Invaders is also really good.
I haven't played it, but I do have it on my phone. They recommend Bit Trip Beat, which I didn't even think of, but that's a cool one.
Sure.
Arkanoid's just great. Arkanoid is a great game.
Yeah. Okay, VGC Kenny says, what happens first? Just Dance stops coming out on the Wii annually, or the PS6 and its contemporaries are announced?
Just Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
If you said PS5, you would have...
I was going to say, though, what if we changed it to PS5? Yeah,
well, it's already been announced, so...
And not announced, the PS5 comes out.
That's a closer call, for sure.
Yeah.
As a closer... I think this year's going to be the last Just Dance for Wii.
So Just Dance 2020 is the last one?
That's my call, yeah.
On the Wii.
Yeah, for the Wii.
Because Just Dance is going to be the last video game.
Just Dance will never end.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
When music ends.
So you think okay, so you're saying Just Dance is the one that happens first then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the last Wii game as well? Are there any other Wii properties still going?
Just Sing and Just Dance are the only two that still exist.
Just Sing. Did you see Twitch came out with a karaoke thing?
Twitch
Sings. That's been in development for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's teamed up with Harmonix.
Nice. Go Harmonix. Get that paycheck.
Yeah.
All right, John, you're here with this last one.
Last question comes from JSNEY20, which says, what was the first game each of you got for free to cover or review? Ooh.
Good question.
I don't remember.
It would have been an indie game from somebody I've talked to before, but I don't know who.
I want to say for me, it was Rayman Legends.
Okay.
Because Ubisoft sent the game for Wii U to my house.
I remember you got that sent, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gears of War 2 was very early. Trying to look up my reviews.
I'm doing the same.
Sort by modified. Okay. God, this just keeps going. It looks like... Nah, it couldn't have been that. I thought I had all my reviews up on my drive, but I don't. Maybe I just go to the website. This is going to take like forever.
Yeah.
Did you have an answer, Paul?
No, I'm still looking quickly here.
Off the top of your head, what's the furthest back one you can remember?
Well, I'm actually looking it up as well. Like, probably Torchlight? When did that come out? 2009? That would have been 3 years. Yeah, probably that. When did Path of Exile come out?
Okay, mine was this game called Life Science Hospital Affairs.
Okay.
Which was basically a ripoff of Trauma Center. Put out, I think it was Konami. No, I guess not. Who made this game? I remember not liking it very much. Apparently, I got the PAL version sent to me. Because the North American one is actually called Life Science Surgical Unit. And this is developed by Spike.
Ooh.
Yeah, Torchlight,
And even
2009.
All right.
After
There you go.
talking
I
to
haven't
the
thought about
devs
this
at
game
PAX.
in forever. All right. That's it for questions this week. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What are your games of the week?
Earth Defense Force, Iron Rain.
World War Z, I'll say this time.
I will say Division 2.
Nice.
All right. And if you are listening to this live and you're a $10 patron, this is your last night to submit a game for the poll tomorrow. Anyone else listening to it, I will be putting up the poll on Friday. So go vote for what you would like us to play through and discuss in May. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.